Welcome to this Java programming tutorial where we will dive deep into implementing Secure File Transfer Protocol, or SFTP, in your Java applications. Before we begin, let's understand what SFTP is. SFTP, or SSH File Transfer Protocol, is a secure version of the file transfer protocol that uses the Secure Shell SSH protocol to provide encryption and security. Unlike FTP, SFTP encrypts both commands and data, preventing sensitive information from being exposed during transfer. In this tutorial, we will use the JSCH library, a pure Java implementation of SSH2, to facilitate SFTP. You will learn how to set up the library in your project, connect to SFTP servers, and execute operations such as uploading and downloading files. First, let's add the JSCH library to our project. If you are using Maven, include the following dependency in your pom.xml. Next, let's create a Java class called SFTP service. This will be our main controller for all SFTP operations. In this class, we will establish the connection to the SFTP server. Let's start by adding a method to connect to the server that takes in the hostname, port, username, and password. Remember, in a production environment, you should manage known hosts securely instead of setting strict host key checking to no. This line prevents SSH key verification, which is important for security. Next, let's create a method for disconnecting from the SFTP server. It's good practice to close the session after you're done. Now that we have our connection methods set up, let's create a method to upload files to the SFTP server. In this method, we first open an SFTP channel from the session, then connect it. The put method of channel SFTP is used to upload the file from your local file system to the specified directory on the SFTP server. Similarly, let's create a method to download files from the SFTP server. Again, here we open a channel, connect, and then use the get method to download a file from the SFTP server to a local directory. Next, let's create a method that lists files in a specific directory on the SFTP server. In this method, we use the ls method provided by channel SFTP to list the files in a remote directory. Let's summarize what we have implemented so far. We created a class SFTP service that includes methods to connect to an SFTP server, disconnect from it, upload files, download files, and list files in a remote directory. Now, let's create a main method to test our SFTP service class. We will try to connect to an SFTP server, upload a file, list the files in a directory, and download the file back. In this code snippet, ensure to replace the host, user, password, local file, remote DR, and other placeholders with your actual values when you run the code. This will execute the SFTP operations and provide console output showing the uploaded and downloaded files. As we reach the end of this tutorial, let's take a moment to honor some best practices. First, always handle your exceptions properly, potentially logging them for further analysis. Avoid displaying sensitive information in error logs, especially in production systems. Second, consider implementing more robust authentication methods, e.g., using SSH keys instead of passwords, securing your credentials, and ensuring that your server's SSH configuration is secure. Lastly, think about how you handle file paths and potential file overwriting issues on both local and remote systems. You may even consider implementing checks to verify successful uploads or downloads. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial on implementing Secure File Transfer Protocol using Java. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. If you have questions or topics you want me to cover next, drop a comment below.